The following Dungeons & Dragons actual play podcast is based on real events from the history of American crime. Some of this imagery might be upsetting. Listener discretion is advised.
Infinite power, infinite power, infinite power, infinite power, infinite power. Infinite power.
Percy doesn't know where his music comes from.
Unconventional.
Yeah. But they work.
That was unique. Nim's just going to give some final directions to Paul, because I don't want his involvement in any of these schemes that may be coming up.
Okay.
Kind of make him think I'm still on the level, somewhat. So I'm just going to, Paul, just continue what we're doing here at this table. Just remember, bet high when you can. Bet low when it's no. Alright, buddy. See you later.
Okay. So while they're figuring this out, is there anything that you want to try to learn before they come over to you?
From Bruta?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why does Dak says to Bruta, why does Shay want to talk to these folks?
So she knows of this guard.
Yeah.
And she has a sense that the guard was coming to talk to her before he got into this state that he's in now.
Right.
Ideally, it would have been just him, but clearly,
Right. Yeah. It's clearly not ideal.
yeah.
Accurate. So does Shay want to hire? Does Shay want to hire these folks? Does she want to hire me?
Shay might have a solution to a lot of people's. How about we just let her?
Okay.
And so as she's talking to you, so you know that there's a lot of different sensations in a casino, right? Especially in a place like this, the smoke and this and the
place.
Yeah, the smoke and the volume and the smell of the alcohol, the smell of the blood from the fighters, the sense of desperation. There's a lot of it. And all of you, as you approach Dak and Bruta, you kind of become cognizant. Although, Percy, this might not be a brand new experience for him. This might be like maybe a sixth sense for you or a seventh sense for you. But for everybody else, you kind of recognize that, like, there's this swirling going on. And it's not like you're not, like, drunk or anything. You're not dizzy. But it's just like all of the stuff that never was really corporeal before is kind of spinning around the room. And as it starts to tighten up and moves over people, they kind of just freeze where they are, right? And all of this noise and smell and smoke and everything starts to coalesce into this giant mass. It takes the shape of this 25-foot tall storm giant. She has, and it's a woman, Shay. She has this dark violet, almost like eggplant colored skin. She's old. She looks very old. Her skin is very weathered. She has these thick dreadlocks. Because she's a giant, like, the locks are like this, right? They're like really thick, like ropes that you would see on like a naval vessel. And she just kind of materializes out of all of this noise and the din and the stink of the casino, and everybody freezes including the 2 fighters in the ring. Everybody except for Paul. Paul is sitting there.
Spy.
Yeah. Paul. Yep. Paul intermittently is calling out, just like hit, stay, grabs coins, like has no realization of what's happening. Shay kind of, there's like a flex, kind of like in the Matrix when Neo realizes he's the one and has that like that flex and the whole like Matrix bubbles around him. She has that. She looks down at the fighters, and she reaches down and she plucks one of them up and just like tips him over and puts him on his back, just as like a funny joke to her, like she's rigging the fight. Like, and Bruta just kind of like rolls her eyes when Shay does this, and Shay looks at you and at all of you. And this is why I wanted to say, like, it's up to you whether or not Dak has ever met this massive demigod before, whose lair is this casino. And so she, for her size and her mass, her voice isn't like this booming, like, you know what I mean? Like you would think somebody this big,
Right.
you would almost be like deafening. But she's very soft spoken, and she says, "I understand that all of you have a problem." And you look over and you see Solar was in kind of like mid shot, and the alcohol is gone from his glass, and he's just kind of like frozen, and like all action, like it's almost like time has stopped, really, except for Paul, who is still just like hit, stay, split. He's throwing out blackjack terms that he's learned in the last hour or so from him, but no, there's no action at the table.
Okay. Can we? I just want to do something just for character purposes. Can we go back to that feeling
Yeah.
that everybody had?
Uh-huh.
That feeling kind of coalescing. I wanted to do a perception check
Okay.
for Percy because, well, okay, he has an instinctual kind of pull that feeling feels like home. So let's do a perception check on that.
Okay.
Oh shit. Let's see what we got. We got to add the numbers. We got to add the numbers. That's a 10. So all right.
Yeah. So I'm glad you didn't roll high, because I didn't know what I was gonna say there. Yeah. It maybe there's like a sense of familiarity there. Maybe I don't think he would know what like a roller coaster is, but kind of like that adrenaline rush, stomach dropping kind of feeling.
Okay. Do you think that it would be something to pursue?
I think Percy would.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So that was that moment.
Okay.
So now we're sped up to real time here.
Okay.
Okay. And so the question was that Shay's asking if we had a problem.
Shay says that she understands that you guys have some problems that you could use some help with.
Okay. And okay, since Percy's the leader, Percy just kind of steps up.
Whoa. In charge versus leader.
Well, let me work the stuff here.
Work my stuff.
Come on, you're stepping on toes now. Let me at least have some fun here. So he's torn off the cuffs.
Yep, cuffs are off.
And he's got a regular looking shirt.
Yep.
Except for the ruffles, the bar ruffles. He starts kind of like picking at the bar ruffles a little bit.
Self-consciously or nervously or
just kind of trying to make it makes sense. He's trying to make his shirt look correct in his mind
Okay.
because things are
Yeah.
changing.
Yep.
Percy goes, sorry to intrude, because he sees, it's a giant with huge ass locks, and he's had a really weird day. He's fought minotaurs and wolves and everything. His life's all weird and stuff.
Yep.
And but he's starting to cement himself.
Uh-huh.
And he just kind of looks and just goes, "Yeah, there's several problems in the group, but I think we can manage them if we help you with what you need."
She laughs, just like I did. that very that appreciative at your cutting through the political niceties, that Percy's not trying to play any games. She has the sense that there are some among you who probably would have opened with some heavy-handed bullshit for this, and she says, that is very astute of you, Mr. Grits.
Mr. Grits. They call me.
They call me Mr. Grits.
I'll save my soundbite for later.
And there's a better joke that you guys missed. And better in my opinion,
I got one too.
And I have this thing with like jokes earworming me, you know what I mean? Like it's trying to fight its way out. I can't let it. I know. I know it's bubbling. Yep. She indicates Solar, and she says, your associate is in a rough state, isn't he?
And Percy just kind of looks at him and goes, I don't think it's who he is. I think it's because of the job.
The job.
That may also be my fault. I've kind of been putting him in a lot of stressful situations.
She was in the process of rounding on you, and it's a weird to scale, right? Because she's so massive, and you guys, proportionately, she only has to move like 1/100th of a degree,
Yeah.
But you can still sense like her whole mass is like shifting to Alos, and she was like, I had wanted to speak to you about that. It seems that you have gotten yourself into a bit of trouble.
My friend Nim has told me to think of it as opportunities.
What? She wasn't talking to me.
And
This is why I drink, Alos.
This is about you.
Yeah, let's focus on you. I'm just here for this talk of money.
when you say this is why I drink, as you gesture, you suddenly feel this weight in your hands, and there's a glass of scotch in your hand.
This is the best place ever.
But to circle back to you originally, yes, I do have a few opportunities that are before me that could end in my demise.
They could end in your demise.
That's rather ominous.
She laughs at that too, very politely. A very, very observant young man you are, Mr. Alos.
I try.
So, Mr. Pedevin, I want to compliment you on your pedagogy and your ability to reframe these problems as opportunities. It seems that you have found yourself in a situation with lots of opportunities, and she kind of gestures over over to Paul, who's still like, hit me, stay. And I imagine it's all like he's still playing the same hand. Up to like 4, and he's pulling the cards off himself.
Awful. I have been known to use the word acquire, perhaps, special opportunities. I think I just have some fallen into my lap, you may say. But it's nothing too special. Don't you charm me. You're good.
She gives you like one of these like
Robert De Niro. Analyze this. You.
So she considers you all, and she considers the frozen Solar, and she says, your guard friend was coming tonight to talk to me about this investigation that he has found himself in, but it seems as if he's missed his opportunity, I think, as maybe Mr. Pedvin would frame it. So fortunately for you all, his loss may be your gain. So I understand that you have some challenges that you have been facing, and I may be in a position to help you, provided that you can do a small favor for me.
Nim makes that noise. Because right now he has no issues that he knows of. Because Alo's really still like, he's spent with his explanation of what was going on, so Nim didn't hear anything. So Nim just like, what? I just turned to Alos.
And okay, and Percy just kind of looks at everybody. He just kind of like takes a step forward to look at everybody, like over his shoulder. And it's the first time he's actually looked like a regular person in Backfire, I guess. And he looks back at Shay and he just goes, well, at this point, if I help you, I can only hope to find out who I am. I'm in.
She says, Mr. Grits, we can help you find out who you are, and we can help you find out who you will become.
And Percy just kind of like looks back at the group and just kind of, it's like there's flashes of Murderface Percy and Serious Percy and Crazy Percy, but they all kind of blend for a moment before this whole moment takes place. He just kind of shrugs, and that's it.
It's a Three Faces of Foley kind of situation.
Oh man.
Not wrong though.
No.
She turns to Alos now. Her attention is back on Alos.
Well, I don't know how I will accomplish the thing that I've been asked to do. So if your thing is more doable than the warehouse opportunity, then sure.
She smiles and she says, as it happens, the two opportunities are linked.
I am intrigued.
She considers Nim again for a second, and you didn't say the part about him not having any problems out loud, did you?
No, I did.
You did say that out loud? Okay.
Oh yeah.
So, okay, let me think about that for a second. So she looks at you, or she looks at Nim and kind of considers that, and then she turns and she faces Dak. So Mike, do you think that they have met before? Do you think he would?
I do. I do think that I do think that they met before.
Okay.
Having done some freelance, it seems like he would have done some freelance work for her in his apprenticing, in his roguish spy apprenticing days.
Okay.
The early days, but not so long ago that it's ancient history. So
Yeah.
not really freaked out by her.
Yeah.
Not really impressed. It's always impressive, but not like fear check or anything like that.
I thought about it. I really thought about.
A little. Maybe not because of that.
Nim did.
Not because of that. They've been holding it for a while. I did really think about making you guys roll to see what your reaction would be. And, like, do you just start vomiting or crying in front of her? But I wanted to go for the awe of the experience.
Yeah, I think having run some jobs for her.
Okay. So because there is that familiarity, then she looks at Dak and she says, "Now, is there anything that I can do for you for this one, or would your usual rate apply?"
Oh, I think since we last met, I think I can do half, but I would like to donate to the I would like for you to make a sizable donation to the Backfire Orphanarium.
She considers it for a second. The orphanarium.
The foundlingry?
Yes! Sorry.
For the podcast. No, I was kidding.
The foundlingry. Oh, when you said orphanarium, I was thinking of like an aquarium. And like.
Nope, I was full on.
And it like a pet store, which this place would have. This place would totally have like a big box style.
Like BOGO, like
Yep.
one.
Oh yeah, Black Friday, 50% off. Yep. Yeah. Yup. All doors must go.
A free tiefling with every purchase.
But there would be shit like that here, though. There would be stuff like that here.
And Nim may or may not be involved somehow.
Yeah.
See, May.
Oh. Griff and I have been doing some serious world building offline with this, and this place is. Oh man, there was definitely something like that happening. So she considers the foundling. Hi again, everybody. This is Dr. Andy Wilczak. I wanted to say thanks again for taking time to listen to the show. We really appreciate it. The reason why I wanted to make Strength Check into an actual play D&D podcast, when there are so many other actual play shows out there that are probably way better than anything that I could do, is I want to draw your attention to a project that I'm a part of here in northeastern Pennsylvania. We're calling it Play for Progress, and the idea is to use D&D and eventually, hopefully, probably other tabletop games to help middle school and high school kids who are struggling with mental health problems or addiction issues, or who feel alienated or isolated in some way. This part of Pennsylvania has been hit really, really hard by the opioid crisis. This part of Pennsylvania has a very high alcoholism rate. And this part of Pennsylvania is diversifying very quickly, and there are those who have capitalized on that to try to create more conflict between people. So we have a lot of kids here who are alone and who are suffering, and suffering mightily. So what we're doing, and the point of this message now, is to just let you know that we are raising money to make Play for Progress a sustainable force for good in the northeastern Pennsylvania area. If you have even $5 to spare for us, you can go to GoFundMe.com/playforprogress with hyphens between the words, so play-for-progress. And anything that you can give us will go a long way towards making us sustainable. Thank you.